Fertilizer update, Danny Boy here, we're back with more Transport Fever. Kinda on the modded mod. This is actually just going to be a showcase. This is a Europe map I'm using. This is not actually the Europe map. The other one's set back in 1850. I've got it paused on, I think it's the 1st of April you start the game. So I've got it paused on that, and there's a lot more trees, and the mountains here have got some snow on them. The Alps. I did actually use, before I used the increased vegetation mod, I used the snowy mountains mod. Apparently these hills are not high enough to, there is a set altitude where snow actually goes on mountains. Unfortunately this scene does not. These mountains are just not high enough, so I'll add in little bits of snow as I'm sort of going through. And actually looking at this map, it's quite relatively flat. Norway's a bit more, like the Scandinavian area is a bit more hilly, but that's not a problem. The UK is quite flat, although up in the borders and up in Scotland it should be rather hilly. It is a wee bit, but not massively hilly. There are the Shetland and Orkney Islands. I have no idea if this is something or other. Faroe Islands maybe? It's not Iceland. Right, so what we're going to do in this little episode here. It's not going to be a long episode. I was just wanting to showcase the new industry mod and what we're going to be using. So if we click on a town, let's take Berlin. Here are all the things you can do. Right, there is post in the new industry 2.54 mod, and we'll start with the post. Right now it's saying excellent, so they're getting mail somehow or other. I'm not sure how they're doing that, but anywho, if you go into here, there is a post office. Now, if I do believe you can transport, you need there's a Russian mail truck mod as well that allows vehicles to transport, and there is another mod added by a name, I had the guy's name remembered, now I forgot it. He added a mod that you could add mail to certain things, like all the other vehicles in the game, or the wagons, trucks, and it just sort of gets added at the bottom. Obviously in wagons, like box cars and stuff, that would take mail, in like coal hoppers or oil tankers and stuff, you wouldn't be able to transport mail for obvious reasons. I suppose you could actually throw mail in a hopper wagon or in an oil tanker or something, but it wouldn't be too great when it appeared at the other end. So here is the post office. I'll fire in down there. I've got the no cost mod on because there are no industries. And if you have costs on, adding even one of these costs you like 50 million. So here's the post office. Now up to 2 trucks can come in here, and there's 2 separate stops, I do believe. Terminals, aye, 2. So it's just kind of like a truck stop, but for it's a post office. So I'll only receive normal mail and unsorted mail. If we go in here, there is also a post box. You leave a post box there, it sort of works like a bus or tram station, and it'll capture a certain amount, which that's quite a lot actually. So you would have a truck coming for here and going down there. If you had a goods train station near here, it would also get mail, and you could transport it to Gdansk or really anywhere you want, as long as it's a train that hauls mail. So that is the post. We'll get a little post box down. It's weird. Why does it face? So vehicles going that way. There's one. Cool. There is actually the post mod, which is on the Steam Workshop, but it's not compatible just now with the new Industries mod. And even if it does become compatible, it's one of those mods you need to load in right at the start of the game. It will not work in a save game, so even if it does become available later, I wouldn't be able to add it because it'll just crash the game. Now that post mod was pretty cool as well. This guy had different post offices from different eras, like a distribution depot, like a large mail sorting depot as well. It looked pretty cool, but unfortunately I can't get it to work with the new industries mod, and I want the new industries mod so that I've got more of a variety of goods. I can get different sort of trains and trucks on the go. We'll go next to waste. So waste is being transported to somewhere, I don't know where. So if we go in here again, you can get a waste collection facility. Now this is obviously good in the year 2000, which we're in now. I do believe that some of the industries are period correct, like historically correct, like things like aluminium and stuff when I come to later on in the game, because they never had that. Some things they didn't have in the 1850s, and I'm imagining a recycling plant would be one of those things. So you've got a recycling plant here. Again, works like a truck stop. All the waste for this will go here, which is fine. Trucks can then come in, and then if we go into our new industries mod, the first one we'll look at is the landfill. Now this would obviously be placed outside the city somewhere. So here's the landfill. Here's what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. It's well designed. I'm fairly impressed with it. What does it say here? Right, this accepts requirements recycling, and it can make any one of these. So basically it can recycle metals, plastics and wood, and it'll make wooden powder, which you need for later on. You can't just get rid of random waste. You can't just send waste to make it disappear. There's obviously a limit on it. So from one landfill is full, if a city is too big, then you'll have to place another in some way. Just to keep this number here happy. This is outstanding. I've never seen outstanding in anything. Probably because I've never had anything up to 93%, but I never knew outstanding was a thing. So shopping facilities create waste, industries create waste. I would go as far as to say his houses probably create waste as well, but I'm not sure if that's factored in the mod. But there is the waste management and the post office. So I've kind of got a grasp of how they work. I've been trailing through the comments on Steam. I've seen folk some people had a few problems, but I'll hopefully manage to cruise through. Now this is the racetrack. We'll place different racetracks. We'll have like Silverstone in the UK, the Nürburgring in Germany, etc, etc. And this, if we place this only accepts fuel, which is fine. So you could probably just deliver trucks to deliver fuel. Requirements fuel, and then it consumes X amount. So it doesn't take too much fuel, so that's good as well. It'd be cool if you had little race cars driving about it. I could maybe add some cars in somewhere. And are these boxes they've got for crash barriers? It would seem so. I'm not sure if that would stop a car unless those cardboard boxes were filled with cement. These barrels filled with water, I have seen that before. Normally he had tyres, tools, a couple of barrels there. We're going to get a lot of these because I've not connected it to them to anything. Now you can't actually upgrade these. You can't upgrade this. We will not upgrade anything. We'll let the game take its course and let the industries expand as needed. Right, on to the next. So we've done landfill, we've done the racecourse. There's your standard quarry here. There it is. It's just the same as it is in the vanilla game. Although I think there's normally a crane or something. But all my quarry is a lot more interesting. I'll actually make it a quarry. Now, see, you can't upgrade this. Now, this production is producing stone. And what else does it produce? Produces something else. There it is. If you add a few more bits and bobs, get fired in. We'll keep it at 0. I'm going to this is just a test map, just to showcase these industries. Now, I am not entirely sure what this gold quarry is. For the 3rd development stage, limestone the production is displayed. So if I was to upgrade this to level 3 and apply, I then get limestone, which you can use for other things. But right now, in fact, we'll keep it at that. It's producing stuff just now. I don't know why. So this is limestone here. It's just a sort of lighter coloured, slightly more lightly coloured than the stone, which is pretty smart. I must hand it to these guys. They've done well with this mod. Here is your standard construction materials factory, which I do believe is the same. And I think in some of these mods that trucks, some of the factories, trucks actually come in here and they deliver, so you didn't actually need a truck depot outside. I'd like to get some of these industries without fences around the side of them. That would be interesting. So let's see if there's anything untowards in this. It just takes stone and slag as per usual. And we'll have a look down here just to make sure. Yes. And then obviously as you upgrade it, you get your other buildings being added. That's interesting, I like that. So we'll have to remember and keep lots of space at the side for added buildings. That's pretty cool actually. Interesting. We'll keep it at 0 for the moment though. You're not producing anything because you canna. So stone obviously goes to here, and slag. Recycling gives you either steel, plastic or wood powder, and the racetrack accepts fuel. So on to the next. A standard oil field, or oil well. I would call it an oil field. So here it is. We didn't actually, if you go into here, then in here, and then go to all, does it give me the, there it is. Right, tractors, or the tractor asset is pretty cool. Tractor Ford 8N, trailer, height normal. Do I have to put this on a road? Let's find a road. Right, left. Cool. Now this is a kind of old-timey tractor. Get a straight or left trailer. Right. I'll have to figure out how to use this because I want trailers in me. Right, select that. That's confusing. Cargo assets, chemicals. We've got the different sort of cargo assets there. Building assets, distillery, factory, textile, paper mill. I would like some oil, some actual oil pumps as well to go with this. Your standard oil well just creates oil. Let's see if it looks. I want some of these to sort of place around the map because they're not just contained in one area. Interesting, right? That looks good. And as per usual, it only produces oil. There's an annual maintenance charge for it, it looks like. The oil refinery, again, pretty standard. It's giving me an area for it might want to upgrade, so let's place it there. Again, oil, crude oil produces normal oil, a sort of motor lubricating oil, and fuel, which is awesome, right? And if you upgrade it, it should get a few more things. Some more plant at that side, more plant there, and this must be for storage, which is fine. Although I would probably have that sort of concreted, probably, I dare say. So there it is. We'll keep it at 0 for the moment. Yes, I know this is not connected, that's fine. Go back to that. In fact, just escape out of that altogether. So there is the oil well. Now the power plant, this seems interesting. This is a new one, definitely. So here is the power plant. It accepts coal and lubricating oil. So one of these produces none. It just burns off oil, it looks like, which a power plant would do. It would create electricity, not really a good you can actually ship. But it's interesting, you would get money for sending coal and oil to the power plant to keep it running, to keep the city powered. But you didn't actually, I don't think it has to be in range any cities or anything. Probably in one outside the city would be prudent, because that's for power plants, power stations normally are. So doing this, obviously when you burn off coal, you're going to get the excess slag. I thought it was iron ore that you burned off to get slag, but hey ho, apparently if you burn coal you might get some of this. So that's another source of slag. We'll check the details. Right, slag is the only thing it produces. Let's upgrade it. It can only be upgraded once, just to that, which is fine. It's a pretty cool model. It's pretty smart. On to the next, which is the standard coal mine. Again, at the beginning, just the same. Go to 1. We'll move this out the road so we can get a better view. 2, 3, and 4. Excellent. And doesn't matter if it's upgraded, it will only produce coal. Doesn't require anything. It's a base industry, as I like to call them, like the oil well and this. Base industry. They produce raw materials. These other factories produce refined goods. So on to the next. The standard iron ore mine. Now this now ticks something else, or produces something else. So here's the standard iron ore mine, providing iron ore, as one normally does. We go to here. From the 3rd development stage, mineral production is produced. I'm not sure if that is. So let's go to 1. No, this scene. I want to upgrade this scene. 1. Move the Y. So there's 1. 2. Just get an added sort of office building onto there. Warehouse there. 3. Now apply that, and we should get minerals. Now I'm not sure if minerals are used in yet, but I will find out. And let's go to 4. It adds a new road through the back. Okay, right. Keep it at 3. Close that. Close that. So minerals, that's a new material. We'll find out if it's used for in a second. Right, so the steel mill accepts iron ore and coal, as always. I think that's just it. Yes. So let's have a look at this. A lot of these models have been changed, which I think is pretty good. I mean, that's awesome. So hats off to the guys that modded this. They're still working on it. They're adding new industries and that all the time. Unfortunately, they add them in as like mods, like a brand new mod. And since this needs to be started on a fresh save game, even if they upgrade the new mod, I don't think I'll be able to use it. They want to have things like cars, car manufacturing, tyres, stuff like that as well, which would be interesting. Right, the Berlin Machine and Tools Factory just produces machines and tools, just like it does in the vanilla game. Let's have a look here. Interesting. Ooh, more interesting. So I'm going to need to leave a lot of space around these. in order to build stuff up. But there is the machine and tools factory. We are now on the forest. Now these will actually be placed in forests. Yes. So this doesn't have the increased vegetation more, it's just a test map, or I showcase these. But this will actually be placed in a forest, be like dirt roads and stuff going into it that lead down to small towns that have got freight train stations, etc, etc. Produces wood as it should. There's 2. I would like tree stumps. I'd like to see the actual forest being chopped down and little tree farms as they replant it. So there is the forest, or like the sort of lumberjack or hunting logging camp. That's what I would call it. Now we've got the sawmill. The sawmill produces some new stuff. So your standard sawmill there, and I'm guessing at level 3, no, it produces wood powder anyway. So we have production of planks and wood powder. It'd be nice to hear, like, if for every 2 planks produced there was wood powder produced. Kind of like the way when steel is produced you get slag excess. So that's interesting though. Let's do an upgrade for this. See if it looks like a few more buildings there, there. So it seems fine. It doesn't really expand out to its boundaries like some of the others. So there we go. There is the Berlin sawmill. Nice and flat this area, it's great. It's great for doing this. We then have the goods factory. Now already I can see there's a few more new things on here. This bit is definitely new. This bit it sort of comes round, so it looks as though it might be placed in a city or something. Now, like here, see this? This truck stop terminals. You can send trucks into here, which is awesome. The same way trucks can come in here. So you don't need a truck stop outside or in catchment. You can actually send a truck to this destination. It will drive in, deliver stuff, drive round and go back out. The same goes for this. Now if we look at this, let's check the description. It seems fine. Right, requirements. Planks and plastic was always a thing for creating goods. Planks and steel was always a thing for creating goods. And now we've got planks and aluminium and plastic and aluminium for creating goods, which is awesome. Now, if I upgrade this, what does it look like? Few more buildings added on there. Preferable station for trucks. So the trucks must go in there and deliver. I would probably stick a bus stop here so that workers can be... so you can have up to 2 trucks. It'd be awesome if we could split it to a bus and a truck. That'd be cool. Anywho, you go up there, go to 4, because I'm still upgrading it. I can't really see. It just adds buildings around the outskirts, but that's pretty cool. Go away, go away. So that's a new improvement. The cement factory, also another new industry. We'll go back over here for this scene. Again, has its own truck stop, which I'm assuming the truck will come in here, round, deliver and go in a loop. I think actually it delivers right in here. So the cement factory already looks pretty cool. I'm fairly impressed with that, and it accepts minerals. So that's it's one thing minerals can be used for, and it accepts 2 limestone to create cement. I'm assuming that's 1 minerals creates cement and 2 limestone creates cement. So that's pretty awesome. It has its own terminal. Okay, right, let's see if when you upgrade it. Production level 2. Which just sort of adds a couple more little buildings to the outside, is it? Click apply. Go away. Alright, it's added a few more things. There were things in the middle here. They've now changed to over there. So that's interesting. That's pretty cool. On to the next. Is there a few more? Still got a few more to go. This might actually be a short video. The paper mill. Fire it in here. This thing doesn't have its own stop, but it accepts wood powder to create paper. Let's see. Let's go to 1. Move this out of the way. Let's go to 3. So it just sort of adds an extra building and an extra building over here. So wood chip, wood powder produces paper. Now there is no upgrade, there is no other thing it produces. The bauxite mine, which is interesting. If it's bauxite used for again, I can't even remember, but it's got its own truck stop. Let's just check here. Factory has a cargo terminal. Awesome. Now you go away. Now let's upgrade this to apply. Go away. So it sort of increased the size of the mine there. It's interesting. How do I upgrade it again? Let's go to 3. So it just increases it at that side, and 4 adds a little bit of increase in this side and a road at that side. That's pretty awesome. I'm not sure if it bauxite is used for, but we'll find the use for it. Let's bring that back down to 0 and apply. On to the next. It is the Aluminium Mill. So here is the Aluminium Mill. It's got its own truck stop over here. I'm not sure how one would get to there, but I'm sure it'll manage. Let's see if it says overview, nothing waiting. The video you accept. You accept bauxite, which turns. Right, that's fine. That's weird. Doesn't it give you a production or anything? Factory is a cargo terminal. You can change if it's for buses or whatever. No, there we go. You click on the factory, it gives you it. Right. 2 bauxite gives you 1 aluminium, or 2 bauxite gives you 2 aluminium and slag. That's strange, but oh well. Click on here. Let's upgrade it. It does have other upgrades. Not sure if it got added there. Oh, a section here. Okay, 3, apply. Another section at the back there. 4, apply. Another section there, and some office buildings here. That's very nicely done. That's pretty smart. So there we have it. There is the Aluminium Mill. Apparently it just produces aluminium and slag, so that's fine. Right, on to the next. A grain silo. Right, so we've got our little grain field there, but obviously once I'm building these I will add other fields around it. Let's see if it says it requires fertilizer, so it can either produce 1 grain on its own, or if you add fertilizer it'll produce 3. So I'm not sure if when fertilizer actually came on the go. I know they've always used it, but a fertilizer factory, did they have them in the 1850s? They probably never had aluminium factories in the 1850s, but hey ho. So let's see if there's any other details about it. Nope. I think if you upgrade it, it just adds more fields. Can't see anything. Let's go for, it just adds more of them. That's fine. You are what? If it's you are uranium, where does one get uranium? Why would you put uranium in a field? So uranium must be a thing that's coming. That would be awesome. Although I wouldn't have mutated mutant nuclear crops though. I don't think I'd be that cruel. But it accepts uranium anyway. Is bauxite? No, bauxite's no uranium. Right, the distillery for creating booze. Everybody loves booze. Unless you are teetotal, then that's fine. I like booze. Booze is my friend. So here we go. Here is the distillery. It accepts coal for obviously heating up like the grain, produces alcohol. Looks pretty smart. Got our little distillery tanks over here. Let's see if it says anything. It has a cargo terminal. It can be upgraded. Let's go straight to 4. See if it looks like. Awesome. Ooh, look at these. And a tractor. Ooh. Right. Go back to 0. Apply. Is the tractor still there? No, the tractor's gone. So long, tractor. But there is the alcohol distillery, which is awesome. On to the next, which is the Fertilizer Factory. Right. So this is like biomass tanks here. I think they had this back in the 1850s. Let's see if it says. It's just a standard factory. Let's set it to 4 and apply. Just adds a few more buildings. We've got new containers though. There we go. Fertilizer. That's a weird symbol. If it is that, I'm not entirely sure. Oh well. Right, so there you have it. There is the Fertilizer Factory. Berlin's fairly getting out of the industries. Everything belongs to Berlin. Right, the farm. Just a standard farm you used to get in a game. I'll add fields around it. Looks pretty standard. Now though, you must take grain for here, deliver it to there, and this produces livestock. Because livestock need grain and grass to sort of eat. Or something, I reckon. I'm not a farmer. Anywho, let's go to 4 and apply. So it just adds more barns, more cattle sheds at the side. So that's interesting. We'll go back to 0, just a standard farm, please. The dairy farm, let's go slightly over here a touch. Now the dairy farm requirements. Grain. So you're going to have a livestock farm and a dairy farm that are both going to have cows in it. So it's weird. Is it weird? No. It works. It still works. Right, level 4. Apply. Yes, right. So I thought there would be cows here. I thought you would maybe have to supply cows to the dairy farm. That would make more sense. feed up your cows, either send them to slaughter or to dairy farm to create milk. But here, obviously, if the cows are too old and they can't produce any more milk, they'll get punted off to the food factory, which I do believe is up next. Yes, it is. So here's our food processing plant. Requirements: livestock and milk to make food. That's fair enough. You don't need grain this time. I think it's just the same as the standard is in the game. Yes, fine. So there's the food processing plant. Here is the cotton plantation. This seems a bit more interesting. It looks good though, I must say. Right, requirements again: fertilizer. In its own, it'll produce 1. With fertilizer, it will produce 3. Let's go to 4 and apply. No new products, just added a few more buildings around the outside. There is the cotton plantation. It looks pretty smart. We'll give them that. The chemical plant, I think it's just the same as the standard chemical plant, although now you get chemicals and plastics. What does chemicals get used for? Textiles. That makes sense actually. Right, that's the last factory, and then we'll be done with the showcase. Right, requirements: oil, a lot of oil. A lot of oil to make plastic, a lot of oils to make the chemicals there. But let's see if it looks like it's stage 4. No new products, few buildings added to the side there. That's fine. Now we are on to our last industry, and the industry is 2.54 mod, which is the Textiles Factory. Doesn't hate its own truck terminal, which is fine. Requires 2 cotton and chemicals to produce clothes, all of which can be imported to here. So now shopping facilities have tools, food, goods, clothes and booze. Still the standard 3: cotton mat, construction materials, machines, fuel. But now we've got paper and we've got cement for the industrial sector there, and also your mail for the normal people, the residents of your cities. So this looks interesting. That must be a chemical container. It is. So that's pretty cool that they've designed separate tanks and stuff. I like that with the tarpaulin over it. It's interesting. But let's upgrade it to 4. Again, still produces clothes. A few more buildings built. This sort of building at the back here. But that's it. That's pretty cool. I'm liking some of these new industries. If there was a uranium ore mine, and I could create uranium and stick it to a nuclear power plant or a nuclear weapons factory, ooh, that'd be awesome. But right now we cannot. So there's not much we can do about that. But anywho, the new industries look awesome. I have seen that people were having problems with said new industries. Some production rates were a bit low, etc, etc. But with the no cost mod on, you should have enough trains and stuff to keep it going. So I'm hoping I'll be able to work out the kinks. I know the first day I add these, I'll record the Europe episode, I'll record the America episode. Everything will be great, and then the developers of the new industry mod will bring out a new version the day after. Because that's just what happens to me. But anywho, we'll stick with that. So, I see uranium there, which looks cool. I want the uranium. This new stuff is awesome. I just want the uranium. I reckon why. But I do. I'm pretty sure somebody's made an actual nuclear power plant as an asset that you can get in Steam Workshop and sort of place it somewhere. So if you could get uranium ore, refine it and send it to somewhere like that, like plutonium or uranium, that would be ace. But anywho, that is going to be it for this little wee episode. I say little, it's actually taken quite a fair time to go through all the industries and the details of them. I'm looking forward to using them. I'll be implementing them onto the new maps soon. I might actually do it a bit at a time. I've been sort of looking around Google Maps to see for each sort of industry would be like cotton fields in Virginia, farms at places in the world for there is farmland, bauxite mines, iron ore mine, stone mines, etc, etc. Racetracks is easy. I sort of already can for put them. We'll have like Daytona and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. That is going to be it for this episode. I hope you're looking forward to the new series, or new season, sorry. I am, and I'm looking forward to using these industries. Hopefully I'll get them up and running without a hitch. But that's going to be it for this little episode. I've been Danny Boy. This has been Transport Fever. As always, leave a like or dislike or comment on anything you would like to see implemented on the new maps, and I'll see if it's viable. But that's been it for me. This has been Transport Fever. I've been Danny Boy, and I will catch you later.